Hello everybody and welcome to round 3 of the SimRacingHub World Championship. We are live here tonight from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia and we are ready for round 3 of what's been a very entertaining season so far. Will it continue this way? Well, we don't quite know. I will say that not my favorite track. Let's just throw that out right from the get-go, that it really is not my it's not my favorite circuit because I really don't know too much about it. I have driven around here. I got a podium around here actually. Hey, in the Sim Racing Hub League a couple of years ago, but I still have no idea on my way around the circuit. So we will be having fun tonight finding out whether there's a left-hander or a right-hander coming up, because you know, I don't really know. So we will definitely learn it together. So we come in to round 3 after, as he said, honestly, 2 very entertaining first 2 races. Very different races, but entertaining nonetheless. Australia saw a lot of mistakes. It saw a lot of drivers learning the car, losing control of the car, and some big mistakes from some top drivers. And that did not change in round 2 Suzuka. A lot of mistakes again. The Degners catching out Josh Mills. We saw Riera having issues with the Degners in qualifying. But in the end, it was Riera that took the race win, but only just by basically a hair on my chinny chin chin from Richard Walcott. He had a sensational drive, managing to pull himself right up into the running and almost getting up to P1. So let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship going into round 3 after these first 2 entertaining rounds. Argenis Riera is in first place. What do you know? Who would have guessed it? Well, I would have guessed it. Riera is in first place, and he has been doing a great job, but I have to say, second place, Ezekiel Montero, should have really had back-to-back wins. He had Japan under control and unfortunately suffered a disconnect. So his 1 win in Australia is still good for second place in the championship because of the mistakes, as we said earlier, from drivers like Josh Mills. P3 in the championship. Now this one's an interesting one to talk about. Jean-Pierre Lalancette. Where is he? Let's find him. He's in the garage. Oh, he's in the garage. He's preparing. P3 in the championship. What a good first 2 rounds he's had. 12 points from Australia, 12 points from Suzuka. Let's just say he's good for around about 12 points, which is 5th place, I believe. Let's see, 25, 18, 15, 12, 4th place. I was wrong. So we'll see if he can do it again. JPL has had a really good start to the season in the Red Bull. Josh Mills, the second Red Bull driver. Josh Mills behind his teammate in the championship. I expect full team orders from now on in this team, and I expect Jean-Pierre Lalancette to be let by at all costs from Josh Mills. Not gonna happen. Glenn Cooper, P5 for the McLaren. Well, we say the McLarens are consistent. Cooper certainly has been. 10 points from Australia, 10 points from Suzuka, and 10 points from probably this race. Richard Walcott missed the first round, almost came out with a victory in the second round with just go back and watch it. It was great. He's in P6 in the Ferrari. P7, Janos Magistrevi down in P7. I mean, did he even show up in the first round? Was he even racing? Yes, he got 1 point. Boo-hoo. But all normal service was resumed with his usual P3 finish in Suzuka last time around. OTTO. Oh, no. Not a great start to the season for him. 8th place, 8 points in the first round, 0 in the second round. He needs to get on form and bounce back. Is he on the grid? This is the next question. We don't see OTTO here right now. He is the one driver that is missing. So we will go through that in a second. To finish up the rest of the championship, Sean Higgins Got 4 points in each round. He's in P9. Darren Fisher is in P10. He was having a great race until a mistake happened in the first time round. Dejan Kovacic has got some points in P11, the rookie. Richard Haney, 2 points so far. Juan Arrego, 2 points so far. And everybody else, including yours truly, is on 0. So we don't talk about them. It's probably a bunch of those credit card cars. All right, here we go. So Zika Montero is going to be driving the Mercedes tonight, which no great surprise. Argenis Riera, the team has decided to stick with him despite a terrible start to the season of only leading the championship by default. Josh Mills, the second Red Bull driver, is in the Red Bull. Juan Arrego back into the championship. That means that we are probably missing a Richie Walcott. We are. So Juan's a fast guy. Ferrari has had some good points to start to the year, which we'll get to the Constructors' Championship. But he's a fast guy, and he's done a very good job so far. Next, we have Stephen Broderson in one of the credit card Red Bulls. Darren Fisher in the Haas, still in the championship. And it's great to see Swish Fish back as a full-time driver. And honestly, in and around the points. It's great to see. Bill Worrell will be the lead Ferrari tonight, unless he's overtaken by Juan Arrego. JPL in the Red Bull. Richard Haney in the Kick Sauber. Dejan Kovacic in the Haas. Jacopo Cardozo in the Alpine. Janos Magasrevi in the second Mercedes. And this year, I can actually say that and not be fully facetious. Obviously, Janos is a very fast guy, as he just puts a lap time here to go P3. But his teammate is P1. And honestly, should be P1 in the championship. So there's no mean feat being second to Zeke Montero. Next on the grid, Glenn Cooper. Always in around the points for the McLaren team, and likely will try a -1 stopper tonight. I think he's actually going to try to start on newer tires or older tires that he's going to finish on. It's going to be interesting what he does tonight. Keep an eye on him. The captain, John Cook, cooking his way to a nice drive at the start of last round. Then it ended up falling to pieces. Sean Higgins in the second Kick Sauber. We'll talk a little bit about that, but there was a bit of kicking going on at the end of the last race, and was a little bit disappointing to see. They did get moved down in the point standings. We'll get into that. The 13-letter juggernaut Cliff Vanley Ward in the Williams. Jeff Oppenheim, the Oppenheimer, in the other second Visa credit card. And OTTO has joined. That always feels nice to have Otto Acosta in the race. Provides us great excitement. And honestly, he's due. He's due. Come on. It's time. We called the Richard Walcott drive last time. We're going to call the OTTO fight back and come back here tonight. So learn a little bit more about this circuit. There's no easy way of saying this. There's 27 turns. 27 is too many, okay? And they don't have names. They all have numbers, and they all look pretty much the same or very similar. There's a banking corner here. I believe this is turn 13. Again, it's fairly recognizable. The key thing here tonight to know, and make sure you're very clear on this, you do not have to really fully understand the circuit here to put up a good race. You have to be committed. You have to generally know whether it goes left or right, and you have to be able to put the power down and set the car up for the straight line speed. That is the other crucial thing. This corner here is a real pain. Throws a lot of people off. I don't know what corner it is, honestly, because there's so many corners that aren't corners and kinks that count of corners. But we can count palm trees, which we will be doing here tonight, so that's very exciting. Let's go. Where is Montero? Not even putting in a lap. Not even putting in a lap. He's just going to sit there and chillax And we're going to sit and chillax as well until the start of qualifying. All right, so we got some sound issue. It looks like we'll turn up the volume on the vehicles, as I don't know how that happened. Maybe now we will be good to go. So we'll do another little bit of a test here on the sound check. We got to make sure we get it right. Got to get it right, ladies and gentlemen, with all the viewers here tonight listening. For what's going to be, I mean, it's a street track with a lot of walls beside. So I think we're going to see some crashes. And I think that because we saw some crashes in the other two races. And I think that every single track so far this year, we're going to see some crashes. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's just do a quick engine sound check here to make sure that we're back up and running. Okay, and we're good to go. So now we wait. We play the waiting game for qualifying for round 3 of the SimRacingHub World Championship from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Now, why we are doing Jeddah and Saudi Arabia after Bahrain in the real F1 makes perfect sense. We also obviously didn't race Bahrain in the SimRacingHub Championship. We do not follow the schedule perfectly, mostly because we do a race every single 2 weeks, and we don't like these back-to-back sprint, funny, kind of weird things that Formula 1 does. SimRacingHub is a little bit better structured. And my question is here, why we went to Bahrain to Jeddah, and then we're not going to go to Abu Dhabi until later in the year. I mean, you know, you can say that you're being green, but the reality is we're going to fly across the world and then we're going to come back to the Middle East a little bit later. It doesn't make a ton of sense. I say get these races out the way and all together, and then let's get the European schedule going. Not because I'm European, which I am, but because a lot of the old tracks that we all know and love just happen to land in Europe. So we wait for qualifying. Zeke Montero just kind of sitting, not doing too much, just relaxing. We have Josh Mills sitting in the garage also, just waiting, biding his time, needing to. I mean, he's been up at the front. Let's not lie. Josh Mills has been up at the front. He's not been a million miles away. But does he have the race pace or even the qualifying pace to really challenge for the first place win here tonight? We will have to see. Riera warming up his tires very aggressively in the end of practice. He's practicing a run. Let's take a look at a lap around the circuit here. Even though this is only practice, why not give it a go? Up to 8th gear. And we will start qualifying. We didn't want to spoil the show. We wanted to make sure if we're going to do it, we're going to do it in qualifying. Will Riera be the first person on the track? That is, there's nothing worse than that when you're just about to start a lap and then you get cut off. There's a little bit of a delay here on the feed as we start to warm up. Let's see. Where is Riera? There he goes. As usual, very quick outside the garage. And it looks like he is. Yes, he's definitely the first one out there because of the red lights. Look at the train of cars behind him. So we've got Josh Mills, both Red Bulls right there. Mills looking racy. Mills wanting to put things right here. starting out with a bang. There goes Riera. Mills will be right behind him. And then right behind Josh Mills is going to be his teammate, Jean-Pierre Lalancette. So we get ready for qualifying. Here we go at Jeddah. There goes Riera warming up the tires. We're gonna have to watch. We're gonna have to watch on board with this, because this is a very aggressive way of warming up your tires for qualifying. I've never really quite seen that. Wow! Wow! That's confidence, kids. Look how close he gets to the wall. He's still warming up the tires. He gets so close to the wall. He's just locked in and in the zone. Interesting how aggressive he is warming the tires up, though. Is that a problem with this car or his car setup tonight? It's going to be something to watch and maybe find out later. We will keep on board with this because it's incredibly entertaining. It's going to look absolutely mad as well from the outside. Now, is Mills going to stay close enough behind Riera to try and get some type of a slipstream and risk the error wash, or is he going to drop back? You can see Riera weaving away. Mills is going to be right there if he wants to, but Mills is now copying. You do not have to... What is going on, kids? We do not know. We will go trackside with Argenis Riera down the main straight. Let's go for a lap around Jeddah. And we're going to actually have a lap around Jeddah this time. DRS wide open on the straight. 8th gear. Sudden braking into a very hard left. Just gently clips the curb. Then they got a little bit of a longer right. Easily on the power. Out of the corner. Use the runoff. Then we have another left-hander. This one's much faster. And, oh, you can run wide on there. He got away with it. He didn't lose the rear of the car. So that's good and nicely set up. Flat through this section. Little lift and downshift. There's a downshift through there, so we'll see whether Ezekiel Montero also downshifts through that section when we watch on board with him. Into the 13. 13 turns already happened somewhere on this circuit as we go purple in Sector 1. No great surprise with no times obviously on the board so far. Listen to the engine scream. A lot of quick right-left flicks. If you're lost, I don't blame you. This track kind of all looks the same. The advertising boards are a big deal, whether you're going into the Fanatec corner or the SimRacingHub corner. This corner is a really good corner. That was beautifully done from Riera. You just want to roll the right wheel along that curb. And now you have the run down towards the final part of the lap. Really, really getting close to the wall. A clumsy last turn. Oh, a little slide. A little slide. And Josh Mills with a purple Sector 2. This is going to be very, very close. Riera is going to go into P1 with a 27.2. Josh Mills just misses out behind him. We said it was a pretty good lap from Mills. He was purple in Sector 2 and purple in Sector 3. And Montero is on a lap. So let's take a look at what would be the championship leader. Montero's only green in the first sector. He is not he's not purple. There is a yellow flag out there. We have some more times coming through the board. Lalancette, Cardozo, Worrell, Senior, Higgins. The engine screaming through this part of the circuit. And it's not going to get any respite through this part. Let's listen to how much Ezekiel Montero's engine screams going into the final corner here. Oh, he turns in a lot earlier than Riera did. Very interesting. Purple, middle sector. Here we go. Ezekiel Montero. Will he get back onto pole position? He does. 26.9, the first driver into the 26s. Another great lap in qualifying from Montero as he's going to make his way back to the garage. Let's take a look down. Magas Revi put in a lap time. He's in P4. But Magas Revi, a 28.2, 1.2 seconds slower than Ezekiel Montero. I would say in the same car, but we don't know if that's true. These drivers each have their own setups, of course. Just like real Formula 1, there is a lot of Parc Fermé settings that you cannot change. So drivers will usually tweak the things that they can. Juan Orrego, P6, right ahead of Dejan Kovacic. So that's very, very interesting that the two rookies, 6 and 7, their pace continues to go on. Mitsalis, We didn't talk about him. He is in the grid tonight, and he's up to P8. Mitsalis has had, honestly, a pretty solid start to the year, waiting for that spectacular result. An OTTO in P10. He's rounding out the top 10. He's going to come into the pits and doing the lap. Now, there's only 4 minutes remaining, so these drivers were going to have to get on it in order to go again. Riera, we see just leaving the pit lane. Feel like that took him a long time to get back to the pits. It did, because Mills is already on an out lap. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there with Riera, why he delayed. So Josh Mills, we're going to go on board with him because he did do a good lap in the first lap. Right now on an out lap. Is anybody on a fast lap right now? Looks like not so much. Yes, Glenn Cooper is on a lap. P12 for him. He may come and pit though. Let's take a look at how that McLaren is riding. Very difficult to know because it is such a fast circuit. Certainly can take a little bit more speed through that section. Where is Mills? So Mills looks like he's actually... Oh, he's going to be weaving around. Cooper's not... He's a million miles away. So let's see Josh Mills coming onto the home straight. Start the lap. He's going to go really wide. Get on the power. Doesn't lose any control. We will make sure that the DRS wing goes wide open, which it already is. Very, very early DRS detection point here because it is a street circuit. Mills into turn 1. Sliding a little bit, you could see. Keeps the car kind of facing the right way. Now remember, Mills was purple in sector 2 and 3 relative. Now he does have some traffic ahead of him. Is that traffic going to get in the way? Yes, it is. And that lap's done. Toast. That is toast, ladies and gentlemen. That was a little bit naughty from the Ferrari. Which Ferrari was it? Was it a rookie mistake? Yes, I believe it was. Where is Argenis Riera? He's going to be coming up to all of this traffic. So, although you wouldn't think traffic would be a big problem around here, it's quite a long lap. It seems to be causing guys out. And Arrego, okay, gets out of the way this time. Will Riera be able to improve? He's purple in sector 1. Fastest first sector of all from Argenis Riera in the Aston Martin. Chasing Ezekiel Montero for the pole position of round 3 in the SimRacingHub Championship. We got back markers distracting us to the left-hand side. That was Mills getting out of the way. Whoa! Way too fast through there. And this lap is going to be toast. We're making a lot of toast here tonight. That was fun to ride on board with. Now, will Riera go again? He's going to stay on this lap, which is interesting. I think he doesn't mind the higher tire pressure or tire temperatures because he's going again. Will Mills go again too? Yeah, so Riera's going to pit, so that's his qualifying done. He's not going to get back out in time, surely. That looked like it was a little bit fast. Is Riera going to go again? He may just get out in time. This is going to be a close thing. Mills is not. Oh, Mills is going. Mills ain't going to make it. 1 minute 31. No way in heck. Riera may make it. He's going to have to stop messing around and fiddling, and he might be in the way of some drivers. Lalancette moves his way into P4. Darren Fisher, P5. What a lap from him. Great job. Qualifying done from him, but great job. Ottawa Costa up to P7. Where is Montero? Is he on a lap? He is purple. He is purple. He is going to go 26.8. Wow. Look at the consistency, ladies and gentlemen. 1/10 of a second, not quite up in the first sector. 200ths in the second sector. And 3,000ths in the third sector. So he improved, but only by 1/10 of a second. Riera and Mills are going to have to find, well, almost half a second. But first they need to make the flag. 38 seconds to go. You can see Riera is gunning this out lap like it's a hot lap. Mills is in some traffic as well. And again, this is an out lap for him, so he does not need to be let by. I don't think Mills is going to get there. Here comes Riera. DRS open on the out lap. Because he knows he needs to run down the straight. He's got 16 seconds to go. We will keep an eye on Josh Mills. He's got 11 seconds to go. He's not going to do it. He lifted off too much. He's not going to do it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, he didn't do it. What a mistake from Josh Mills. He lifted off too much. Oh, that's a killer. He just backed off too much around that last corner, worrying about getting the exit, and doesn't get a lap in instead. He's still P3 on the grid right now. Where is Riera's sector times? I want them, I want them, I want them, I want them. Purple! 0.2 of a second. That's a first sector. Ladies and gentlemen, you may see a magic lap right here. Can he stop what happened during this section's beautiful? Yes, just a kiss of the curb. Look how close he gets to the wall. Now, can he get this next section right without sliding? Let's take a look this time around. Fires it in. Oh, no, he's in the wall. He went for it. He went for it, and he's in the wall. Riera went for the pole, ends up in the wall, and there you have it. Zico Montero on pole position. Janos Magistrevi up to P4. Is anybody else on a lap? No, not that I can see. I don't think there's going to be anybody really improving. Cooper's on a slowdown lap. All these drivers are on a slowdown because, of course, Mills was at the crossing the line right at the end. Big mistake from him. So that might be it. There's not going to be anybody that we can kind of be on board with. So there we have it. Pole position, Ezekiel Montero. You would not have got a lot of money for guessing that was the case. Riera has Montero pace, but that car looks scary loose. So the front row of the grid, two of the fastest drivers in North American sim racing, Ezekiel Montero and Argenis Riera. And I say North American sim racing, and I mean South American sim racing. Let's just say American sim racing on this time zone. Josh Mills, you know, he made that crucial mistake. I think P2 was there. I think if he had gone for it, because Riera put it in the wall, maybe he's looking at P2, but he will get to start on the clean side of the grid, so maybe he'll be able to jump Riera into turn 1. Janos Magistrevi, P4, solid outing for Mercedes. Mercedes is the first team to have both drivers on the grid. Following that is Jean-Pierre Lalancette, P5, another really good start to the season. We're just seeing Lalancette grow in his role, and this is the Sergio Perez that everybody wanted, that nobody got. Darren Fisher, this might be the standout of the qualifying. What a lap! What a lap from Swishfish. It was a 28-1. He was only 1/10 of a second off of 5th place. Just a great lap. No, nothing else to say. The second Haas, the two Haases, back-to-back Haas. Not just in the points, but midway in the points. That's a very, very good qualifying session for them. OTTO down in P8, but he did qualify quite a lot ahead of Cooper, who actually ended up outside the top 10. So I think there's a chance that he maybe got the most out of that car. McLaren may not have the pace here tonight. They may not have the pace here tonight. Juan Arrigo, he has the pace. That Ferrari, we saw, he's got Rich's helmet on, the R3 helmet. We saw that car come so close to winning the last round, and Juan Arrigo has pace. Is he using Richard's setup? We don't know, but we'll keep an eye on him. Tony Metzalis, we talked about him. P10, out-qualifying experienced drivers like Cooper, Cardozo, Worrell, Haney, Higgins, Senior, Cook. Very, very good for Metzalis to be out-qualifying those drivers. John Cook, Cliff Vanley Ward, his teammate down in P18, Oppenheim and Broderson are going to round out the grid. So we'll go run through the grid again one more time when it becomes the qualifying. We are now in warm-up, which there's only one thing we can really do in warm-up, which is try and watch Argenis Riera, because he always does some crazy things between starts and stuff like that. Right now, he's going to make me eat my words. So one thing we didn't discuss yet is the team championship, the Constructors' Championship. So let's take a look at where they stand going into this round. Red Bull Racing are on top with 47 points. 4 points ahead of Aston Martin in second, who were a further 2 points ahead of Mercedes. So those three teams, Red Bull, Aston Martin and Mercedes, I think they're going to be duking it out for quite a while. But I would say Aston Martin having a big disadvantage so far in that only one driver is really able to score points. Where is Senior starting? P16. It's street track. Street track, P16. You can get points from there. Keep it out of the walls. That's the key. McLaren, P4. Again, doesn't look like they have the pace to really trouble the top guys tonight. Scuderia Ferrari in P5, thanks to Walcott's amazing Suzuka drive. The MoneyGram Haas team. Oh, MoneyGram. They're in P6, but they're looking like they could make some headway today with 2 drivers in the points. And the Kick Sauber team is the last team to get points, and everybody else doesn't count because we don't talk about zeros. It's just like Fight Club. Don't talk about zeros. Riera's not going to do anything. He's not even going to go out to do any practice, which is interesting. So we will kind of keep an eye just on the other stuff on track. We'll have a quick break here, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. We have 1:20 to go in the warm-up. But I'm already warm. We don't need more warm-up. Let's cut this short. We're on board with Ricciardo Sr. because we have to... my brain just says Aston Martin for warm-up. And the other Aston isn't doing anything. Oh, he is! He's on the track. Crazy Riera. What is he going to do? Is he going to do a practice start? Are we going to do some tire warming for no reason whatsoever in warm-up? What are we going to do? Are we going to run out of time? Are we going to start a hot lap? Let's keep an eye on this because Montero currently is the fastest guy in warm-up, fastest guy on the grid. No great surprise. Of course, you get the coveted Golden Ball award if you are first in the warm-up. It means absolutely nothing. Riera's just going to go for a lap here, which is really interesting. We've seen him super confident in the past. Maybe not super confident here. He's fast. He's very fast. But can he keep that car outside of the wall? We don't quite know. Mills is ready. Feels ready. These drivers, of course, will put fuel in right now, so they're usually all just trying to get a feel for what the car is like full of fuel. That's the end of the warm-up. We now go on to racing. None of this stuff really matters. What matters is the race. And we're about to do that. It is, it's going to be a lot of laps. Too many laps. Too many corners, too many laps. Too many street tracks, too many night races. Too many races in general. Not enough overtakes. That's kind of Formula 1 currently. But it's SimRacingHub. That last one definitely does not count. Because we have seen a lot of overtakes and a lot of really good overtakes so far this year. So we'll see if that trend can continue, even around the street tracks of Jeddah. We can throw a Jeddah at us, but I think SimRacingHub can still deliver the talent tonight, even with a track that, if you haven't noticed, I'm not a fan of. I think it's a bit of a waste of time. I don't really understand. I think it's a great commitment track. This, to me, is very similar to Zandvoort. except Zandvoort is just better in every way because it's a track. This is a street track. But Zandvoort, same thing. You got to be super committed around the fast parts of the circuit. Anyway, we digress. We are racing here tonight. I don't make the schedule. Complaints, please email them in to whoever does make the schedule. But we are going to get ready for the Jeddah Grand Prix, round 3. It is going to be 50 laps, 50 laps around the circuit. And we will get ready for the grid, which is going to be led off by Ezequiel Montero, which shouldn't be any great surprise. What is the most surprising thing is that he's not leading the championship, as we discussed earlier, due to unfortunate circumstances, which was a disconnect for the last race. He had the race under control, and it's very difficult, very, very difficult to kind of bounce back from that. The one thing you just need to do is just get me a win here tonight, and we can forget all about that little mishap of a disconnect in the last race. So he's on the grid. We will get ready for Jeddah. Third gear to kick us off. The start of there. We may experience a little bit of jittering at the start of the race, but that should go away, so don't worry about that. It's just because it's a night race with all of these wonderful lights. Just another wonderful reason to love Jeddah. Okay, pole position. Ezequiel Montero in the Mercedes, back where he belongs. Argenis Riera, not where he belongs. Usually he belongs in P1, but the Aston Martin sharing the front row of the grid. One of the fastest front rows in sim racing. Josh Mills, third place for him, with Janos Magistrevi right behind. These two drivers are usually here to pick up the spills. We'll see if any of them get a little bit feisty. Mills had an electric start in Suzuka last time out, so we might go on board with him at the start. Jean-Pierre Lalancet in the second Red Bull, P5. Swish Fish, Darren Fisher, leading a 1-2 for Haas in 6 and 7. Great positions for them on the grid here tonight. OTTO, P8, but it's not really about qualifying for him. It's more about the race. Can he overtake the Haas's and keep up the front peak, and can he keep it out of the wall? Juan Orrego in the bright red Ferrari, filling in for Richard Walcott here tonight. Tony Metzalis, the first Williams, and top 10 start for him. Great position. Glenn Cooper, the guy that missed out. That's a bit surprising in P11 in the Papaya McLaren. Jacobo Cardozo is in P12 in the Alpine with the experience. I feel like Jacobo is usually in P12, but sometimes can get himself into the points. Bill Worrell, we're still waiting to see Bill to kind of take off so far this year. Maybe he does here tonight, but starting from unlucky 13. Richard Haney in P14. The two Kick Saubers, of course, neck and neck together, and Haney over Higgins, Higgins over Haney, doesn't really matter. Ricardo Senior in 16. We need to see that Aston getting some points. The captain, John Cook, is going to start in 17th. The 13-letter juggernaut, Cliff Vanley Ward, is in P18. The Oppenheimer, Jeff Oppenheim, in the credit card car, is in P19. And the second credit card, the two credit cards rounding out the grid, it's going to be Stephen Broderson. So we will go back up the front as the drivers are starting to line up now for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Visit SimRacingHub.com if you want to get involved in the league. As you see, we do have some reserve drivers in here tonight. They're very fast drivers, but there is some reserve spots available. If you get on the server, get some laps in, and let's get racing. So we're going to keep a little bit of a focus on Josh Mills. We won't necessarily go immediately on board because we'll want to watch them from outside. But here we go. Round 3 of the Sim Racing Hub Championship from Jeddah. We wait for the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's Thursday night under the lights in Jeddah. A very, very strong start for Montero. Here comes Mills! Here comes Mills! What did Mills do? Oh, he's off! It's a huge crash! Riera's off! Mills is off! Oh, what's going on, Montero? Oh, we're going to have to watch a replay of this. This is going to get very, very entertaining. We're going to take a quick replay if we have it. We do not have the replay, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know what happened. But it looked like Mills got very, very racy, and instead he's going to be down the grid, and Janos Magistrevi's leading the race. Darren Fisher's in P2. Jumpy Allowance at P3. Otto Acosta! OTTO! The worlds, the Red Sea has parted. And finally, maybe OTTO's luck is turning around. Maybe not, because he's got Zico Montero right behind him. Will Montero now overtake Acosta? He will not do it yet. Juan Arrigo and Dejan Kovacic somehow managed to start in 7th and is still 7th with all of that going on, as here goes Montero on Acosta. Acosta won't fight that one. He knows that Montero is going to be coming back through the field. So 1, 2, and 3 all got caught in it. I would have guessed that Mills would have been to blame just because the amount of speed that he was coming at it, but unfortunately we didn't get quite to kind of see and have a look. Further down on the grid, that's Juan Arrigo, who is coming under attack from Kovacic. Kovacic trying to go on the outside. We've got OTTO in front of us. Acosta's defending. Away go! Oh, no, we hit the wall. Still side by side. These guys need to behave. This is only lap 1. There's 49 more to go. Still side by side. Into turn 1. Can we make a pass? Kovacic leaving his nose there. He's gonna very calmly done from him. We've already touched the wall once. We don't need to touch it again. Cardozo is into the points. He's in P8. The Kick Saubers are still there. We've got Bill Worrell up to P10. So he had a good start. Where is Riera? He is out of the race. Riera called it a day. He called it a day. The championship leader's out of the race at turn 1. That was just an incredible collision. Oh my word. So it looks like Mills is still going. Mills is actually putting up purple sectors despite the gaggle of cars in front of him. Holy moly. Oh, and it looks like there's a Haas going slowly. That's Kovacic. Kovacic has lost his nose. So we were just saying it, and he's lost his nose. And now Mills is now going to try and overtake and beat it. We're not even launching the leader because there's so much action going on behind. Mills is going to have to try and find a pass. He's already had some collision. Now you can see the DRS. Interesting that the Sauber's DRS closed early there, and that was because the corner coming up. Mills is going to have a hard time passing this DRS train. We will keep an eye on this. We will also keep an eye on the battle ahead of this, which has OTTO. Here's Mills. Mills up the inside, going into last corner. Gets the pass done. Side by side, now we've got Haney trying to follow him by. Haney and Ricardo Sr. still side by side. Haney's going to take Mills' slipstream. Haney's then going to brake. Mills! Oh, he slid off the track! Josh Mills slid off the track. Now, did he gain an advantage by doing that? I think he'll get away with it. But Mills looking very uncomfortable to start the race. And stewards are going to be watching him. We'll see whether there's any type of thing. Now, there is a yellow flag. We've got the captain. Cook is off the track. We don't exactly know what happened to the captain. For some reason, the replay not working here tonight. We did test it. But just, of course, not going to happen. So they got the McLaren. So Acosta's down to P6. Juan Arrigo up to P5, leaving Acosta in the dust. See you later. That Ferrari looks quick. Both Ferraris now in the points because Bill Worrell is in the points. He's got a whole load of Josh Mills right behind him, and Mills gone! Ah! No, he's gone backwards. He's in the wall. Is Mills going to park it now? What a disaster for Josh Mills. Oh! And now he's got, oh my word. Now he's going to be behind. Is that Broderson? And it's Oppenheim that got past. Wow. New best lap time for Jean-Pierre Lalancette. He still remains on fire. He's right behind Janos Magistrevi for the lead of the race. JPL and Magistrevi. We said that these guys will be here to pick up pieces, the number 2 drivers. But JPL isn't the number 2 driver. He's the number 1 driver in the Red Bull right now. You can see Magistrevi slipping and sliding around. Certainly giving a wide range for the walls, Magistrevi. So he's feeling, you know, that his best chance to win today is going to be to keep that car on the circuit. I say there's a slight problem with that, which is that Zico Montero is still in the race, is still P3. Mills is in the pits. So Mills is trying to obviously fix damage, maybe get a new set of tires on. It's going to have to be a hell of a comeback from him. Terrible start to the season from Josh Mills. Need to see the replay to really know exactly what happened at turn 1. JPL, DRS wide open on the leader, Janos Magasrevi in the Mercedes. Oh, Lalenset runs wide. Montero will have seen that, and JPL is going to be in a Mercedes sandwich very, very soon. That's not the type of sandwich that you want to be in. It tastes too much of Petronas oil. Haha. See what I did there? Cooper is doing Cooper things. Glenn Cooper's up to P7 somehow. What tires are we on? We haven't even discussed tires. There's been so much going on. So we will take a look. We need to actually put the tires on the graphic, which we will fix. Just one moment. Oh, Cooper's just punted him. He just punted Cardozo. He's going to wait for him. This is what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen. If you make a mistake in sim racing, you let the driver go back by. You do not leave it up to the stewards and oh, what's going on, JPL? JPL's lost his nose. We missed this. There's so much going on. We've got a Red Bull without a nose. We've got Magasrevi ahead of his teammate now. And we were just talking about JPL having a great start to the year. And DNF for Otto Acosta. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. Acosta with the DNF. The grid is literally just upside down in complete madness at Jeddah. We said that the season had been very entertaining so far, and we wondered when we put them on a fast street circuit what would happen. Well, all chaos has broken loose, ladies and gentlemen. Janos Magasrevi leading the race to his teammate Zika Montero, and Montero is going to have a chance to gain back the full 25 points here today on Argenis Riera, who is out of the race, and Josh Mills, who could be even having with penalty. We've got Lalenset still a wounded animal down. You know, you gotta keep racing here tonight because there's only 6 laps. We're on lap 6. There's a long way to go in this race, so Lalenset's day is not done, but his challenge at the front certainly is. Swish Fish in P3. We said he was probably the standout driver in qualifying. He's 4.6 off the leader, but he's also 3 seconds ahead of Wanarego, who also... Wait! Hold the phone! Richard Haney's in P5. What? How did Haney do that? How did Haney do that? We've said this before, we'll say it again. Haney can be a real painy. And my God, P5. How is Mitsalis still in P9 when he started P10? And Haney, who started, was it 13? 14? He's up to 5. You got to give credit when credit's due. And the other amazing thing is that he's done that. And Sean Higgins, these two are usually separated by nothing. He's down in P18. Here goes Montero on Magasrevi. We just caught it in time. We don't think that there definitely wasn't any team orders there. Will Magasrevi fire one up the inside of his teammate? It makes absolutely no sense for him to do that. And I want to see it. I want to see it, and I want to see it. And I won't see it. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, this might be the last time that we see the back of Ezekiel Montero's car tonight. Because he is likely gone. Mills coming back through the field. He is behind Broderson. Broderson let him go. So Mills is somehow already back up to P12 because of all the mistakes that have been going on. We have 2 drivers retired from this race. If you don't make mistakes in SimRacingHub, apparently you end up 5th as Haney is. Worrell's in the points. Ricardo Sr.'s in the points, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but Riera's gone out of the race. No, that's not what Aston Martin want. Senior's finally in the points, and Riera's getting a 0. Oh, that's not how we wanted Senior to get in the points. Oh well, we digress. Mercedes with a dominating position so far. Let's look at the last lap times. A 32.8 versus a 33.2 for Montero. We'll see how much pace Magosrevi really has. He's trying to stay in DRS zone. I don't think he managed to do it. Yes, he did. He did just manage to do it, which is crucial for Yanis Magosrevi, because you'll see that he's now able to keep up with him for at least one more lap. Mercedes 1 and 2. And traffic is going to be a big problem here tonight, because we can see they're already coming up to lap Sean Higgins because of all the carnage that has gone on. So traffic is going to be a real problem here tonight. Fisher's catching Magosrevi, looks like. Last lap, Darren Fisher took out 0.7 of a second on Yanis Magosrevi. Now, Janos let his teammate by, but 0.7 of a second, that's a tasty meatball. We have to keep an eye on Swish Fish here tonight. Can Fisher do something? Is it Fisher time? We said it was Acosta time, but Acosta's out of the race, so it's not Acosta time. That's another unfortunate start to the year for Acosta. You get into these rhythms, and you just need something to break the rhythm. And unfortunately, OTTO right now is spiraling out of control. He just needs a solid 5th, 6th, 7th place, even an 8th place finish. He needs to get to the first stint without hitting the wall. Here's the tires. We haven't talked about tires. Medium, medium, medium. Now, it all doesn't mean a whole lot, of course, because the whole grid has been turned completely upside down. So, we've got Montero, Janos, Magosrevi, and Fisher, the top 3, all on the medium tire. Then we have 4 soft tires between Arrigo, Haney, Cardozo, and Worrell, who did not expect to be in those positions. I can promise you that at this type of the race. Senior, Mitsalis, and Oppenheim are all on the medium tires. Mills came in and got medium tires. He's already made a stop. Kovacic, medium. We got Reds on Cliff Vanley Ward. Somehow is 13th. It's because he's got 13 letters in his last name. That's why he's 13th. Cooper. Oh, we saw him punt. I was like, what happened? He punted a guy. He pitted. Did Cooper pit? Maybe pitted. He's got the hard tires on. Captain Cook on the Reds. Higgins on the Reds. And that's your grid. And Lalancet is got yellows on his recovery drive. So there's a couple recovery drives coming through the field. We've got Lalancet recovering. We've got Mills recovering through. That battle's getting somewhat close. We've also got... Oh, we got a fight here. This is Lalancet is the closest fight on it. It's Lalancet on Vanley Ward. JPL. Such a great start to the season. He's got to hope he can get some points here tonight and then just kind of put this one in the memory bank. He will get let by here by the Williams. Smart move, because there's points up for grabs for all these drivers today. So it's a very, very smart move from Cliff Vanley Ward here. Don't get in Mills' way. There's no need to. Let's just stick to our own race. Maybe the race falls to us, just like it did for Juan Arrigo, Richard Haney, Jacobo Cardozo, Bill Worrell, Ricardo Senior. Those guys all with big gains from qualifying. Now, where is the Fisher-Magosrevi battle? Magosrevi has pulled back out the gap 0.3 of a second. So 6 seconds to the leader now. I mean, Montero's gone. He's absolutely gone. See you later, alligator. We're not gonna give a whole lot of airtime here tonight for Montero, unless he kisses one of these white walls. Which, I mean, I'm just hoping that he doesn't, because this would make up for Suzuka. He's been on absolute fire to start the season. Unfortunately, so is his internet connection sometimes. Mitsalis on Ricardo Senior. This fight is going to get interesting soon. Bit of a breather here now. Things are starting to calm down. We've got to keep an eye, though, because the yellow is the one thing you don't want to see here. Not the yellow tires, but the yellow flag, because drivers can easily find themselves in the wall. So Senior going to get some points tonight, the courtesy of his teammate, hopefully. But he needs to defend off Mitsalis. There's 40 laps to go. Sounds easy. But on a street track, it is definitely not. Magus Revi's pace. What is going on with Magus Revi's pace? What? 1.5 seconds a lap slower than his teammate, Montero. This is going to be the most demoralizing P2 position Janos has ever been in his entire life. To have his teammate just waltz away from him like this. On the same tires. Again, not necessarily in the same car. I mean, P2, you can't be mad about P2. I've never finished P2 here. But Janos is a winner. He wants to be winning. Mitsalis on Senior. He's going to be in DRS zone, but we're not around the final part of the lap. We're around the turn 13 at the north side of the circuit. Basically, this circuit kind of looks like a Q-tip. It's kind of a little fat at the end with one in the middle, but it's like a bent Q-tip with 27 bends in it. We got a yellow. And it is Kovacic who is sliding down the board. He went off the circuit. So he looks like he has all of the pieces on his car. Mitsalis. Can he do the pass this time around? We're going to give action to all these guys today, because this is a points paying position, ladies and gentlemen. P9, he's going to be too far back, though. So let's go back through the order. We have Montero light years ahead of his teammate. We just check on... Yep, didn't happen. Magus Revi, P2. Darren Fisher... He keeps looking like he's catching Magus Revi, but he is not catching Magus Revi. Yeah, he's not catching Magus Revi. I think traffic. Josh Mills, fastest lap time of the race at 32.1. So Mills has all of a sudden woke up and found the pace. So he could get all the way up until P5 for sure. Arago is right behind Fisher. So Arago is catching Fisher. Haney, 34.1 for Richard Haney. The pace of the soft tires is still very good, and 12 laps in. We'll see about strategies. It's too early to call, really, on a track like this. Not super hard on tires. It is long. There is some corners, but there's a lot of straights that aren't straight. But it's definitely not a Suzuka on tires. Fuel, I would think, would be a problem around here. Haney's going to go around and do another lap. Last lap time, another 34.1. So Haney, 34.1. Very, very consistent. We got a yellow. Oh, and I saw who it was. Who was that? I think it must have been a back marker in the corner of my eye, and nobody dropping right down the board. Nope. Okay, so we'll go back up to the top. Oh no, it's Fisher. Yeah, Haney is up to P4. So where was it? Arago? It was Arago. Oh, he's got no nose. He's got no nose. No. Juan Arago, the next guy to have no nose. This circuit needs to be called Pinocchio. And the worst part was, I think Arago did that at turn 1, so now he's having to go all the way around the circuit and recover. There goes Cardozo and Worrell, his teammate. Worrell is now moving up, and Cardozo into P5. These guys just picking off these drivers. The problem is as we discussed last time, if you spend time worrying so much about other people making a mistake, usually you make a mistake. And that keeps happening. We still see Mitsalis stuck behind Senior. Great Racing Driver once told me that you have about 3 turns to overtake the car in front. What was in go-karting you had 3 turns, but in Formula 1 you probably have maybe a lap. And then when you get stuck behind them, it gets very, very difficult indeed. Here goes Cooper. Cooper overtook Cliff Vanley Ward. Arago is in for his new nose change, the nose job. This is going to be a long stop. Impatiently revving. You can rev all you like, but he's going to have to wait for the nose. There's no point in revving. You're just going to heat up the car a little bit more. Oh, and there's a lot of people going by. Arago's now down to 12th place. And here we go. He's going to come out further down. We got a yellow in Sector 3. Is that Broderson? Yep, Stephen Broderson. He's off the circuit. So you look like he ran wide at the last corner. Worrell around the outside of Cardozo. Yes! That's an overtake from Bill Worrell. Here comes Cardozo back again. Cardozo going to try and come back at him. That's an overtake, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great pass from Bill Worrell. We are seeing Worrell back. Here comes Cardozo. He won't look up the inside. He'll do the old fake and shake and bake, and it kind of worked. Worrell went a little bit deep, but I don't think Cardozo's going to have the pace. In fact, Cardozo's going to pit. That's a smart move because he just got overtaken, so we'll see if he can do the undercut now on Bill Worrell. So Cardozo into the pits. Tony Mitsalis round the outside of Ricardo Senior. Can he make it work? Senior went extremely defensive. Now he's on the wrong part of the circuit. Mitsalis a little bit slippy here and there. Still side by side, these two. Mitsalis is going to give way. Senior's sliding all over the place. He's defending like it's the final lap. Where's he gone? Oh, and he came back on and he still was side by side with the driver. Okay, I think, yeah, Senior, you're not on the track anymore. The track came and went. I think it's time to let Mitsalis go. And Senior's just happy that that one didn't end up in tears and in the wall. Broderson on John Cook. The captain doesn't use a credit card, though. He uses a line of credit. So Broderson's going to back out of that one. Mills back up to P8. Of course, there is some pit stops going on, but most pit stops are because of damage. Magus Revi pits from second place. Really, and that is just another demoralizing blow for Magus Revi. He lost pace to Montero, and he was using more tires than Montero was. What is Ezekiel Montero eating these days? I need to be eating this diet. Montero's so fast right now. It's scary. It is absolutely terrifying how fast this man is right now to start this season. His internet connection probably can't keep up with him. Kovacic on Cook. Down. Oh, there goes the captain! The captain goes spinning! Facing the wrong way. Whoa! Oh, no! That's not what you want to do. They came in front of a Haas. Which Haas was that? Don't tell me that was Swish Fish. Don't tell me it was Swish Fish. Was it? It must have been Kovacic. Which Haas did he come in front of? We will see with the lap times this next time around. Yes, it was Fisher. It was Fisher. No, second place, Darren Fisher. With the captain, with the anchor out. That was terrible, terrible luck from Fisher. that slam dunk penalty for the captain coming up. I'm pretty confident. Fisher's now going to pit. Oh, he's going to get a new nose. Let's just hope that that car's still drivable. You've got to try and keep your head here. Richard Haney, try and keep your head on this one. He's in P2. 2. P2 for the Hainster. What a drive so far from Haney. Such bad luck there for Fisher. Can he still get a recovery drive here? Magus Revi, Magus Revi got away with that because he pitted. That could have been Magus Revi hitting Cook. But because he managed to pit, then that is why. He will obviously retake P2. We got Fisher came out right behind Cardozo. I don't know what position for. Answers on a postcard, please. Says 10. We'll go with 10. But, I mean, we're not even remotely halfway through distance here. Cardozo's on a different part of the circuit than Fisher is. Will Fisher have the red mist in front of him with just a terrible piece of bad luck? That's a nice calm put down of the throttle. Gotta try and stay close to the driver in front through this section. Fisher's on brand new tires, so he shouldn't have too much difficulty doing that. My favorite part of the circuit coming up. I believe this is the 22-23 corner. That curb on 23 is just... It's just magic. Rolling a wheel on that curb. It's just like licking a tomato. Montero, P1. We got Mills and Senior having a battle. Mills obviously trying to recover back through the field. Is that Haney coming out of the pits? Yes, it is. Haney's gonna... Oh, this is gonna get entertaining. Haney now comes out right behind this fight for Mills. So Mills is now up to equivalent of P3. But he's completely offset with the pit stops. Look at how fast Haney's car is. Wow, Haney's all over them, these guys. He needs Mills to make a pass. Or get out of his way. Mills at the inside. Haney's got to follow. Oh, he hesitated there, Haney. Knows the position that he's in. That's going to work out well. Now, Mills is not going to know what's going to hit him here because he's going to get overtaken by Richard Haney for straight pace. Fisher recovering back through on Cardozo, but let's go back to this Haney-Mills battle because I'm very intrigued whether Haney has the pace to overtake Josh Mills. Haney's for real if he can pass Mills here. I know Mills is driving a bit of a wounded duck, but if you just joined us, you may think that we had a very uneventful race so far with Montero, Magus Revi, and Mills. The top three. Those three, could you be in the top three? No problem. But look at the drivers behind them. Look at what has enfolded the absolute madness of Jeddah. Mills is going to hold on for one more lap. We've got Worrell on Oppenheim. Let's take a look at this fight. Bill Worrell on Jeff Oppenheim. Oh, sorry, Cardozo. It was Oppenheim. So Oppenheim hasn't pitted yet. Oppenheim is up to 6. What keeps happening? Did he scam somebody with the credit card? How is he up there? We got a battle behind. This is Fisher on Cardozo. Oh, there's a crash and Fisher's lost his nose again. Oh, no. Send him a MoneyGram because he's going to need it. He needs to buy another front nose. And that one looked like that one was all Darren Fisher's fault. We talked about the red mist. We talked about when you get the bad luck. Still can get some points here today. But that was really poor in the end. Probably from both drivers. Lalanset recovering P9. It feels like a lifetime ago that he made a mistake. Currently, there's really only 4 drivers that haven't made a mistake. Oppenheim in P6, just even if he hasn't stopped and the other drivers have, is still sensational. So Lalanset. That's not actually very helpful that Cardozo just got the DRS in the Alpine. Ooh, it was almost that we forgot to brake. If you forget what car you were following, it's because it didn't say Alpine, and then the DRS closes, and you remember. Here we go, Lalancet. Doesn't need to be in any more incidents. Gets the pass done. Haney's still behind Mills, but he's right behind Mills. Mills is still going to be like, what is that bright green car doing behind me? Is that Riera? No. It's Richard Haney. Lalancet overtaking Cardozo. No. What are we doing? What is happening? What? What? What just happened? Did Cardozo do a lunge? Cardozo must have done a dive bomb lunge and gone straight through the corner, and then, yeah, I don't. Okay, listen, you know, you win some, you lose some. But what's happening? Why is Cardozo not driving the circuit? Let's keep an eye on this, because, I mean, we just went straight through another corner. Either we're really having a hard time of keeping this car on the circuit. Could be due to damage, because we've seen he did get hit by Fisher. But and now he's just tapped the wall. This car looks undrivable from Ricardo Cardozo. So Jacopo Cardozo. Is he going to pit this lap? He's either going to pit, or he's going to end up pitting into the wall at some point, because this car looks undrivable. Let's stop looking at that. I don't want to watch that car anymore. Arago recovery drive. Let's run through the order on who's on a recovery drive. You've got Montero, Magus Revi, then you've got Mills on a recovery drive. Okay, Mills is recovering. Why is it not changing? Don't know. Mills is on a recovery drive. Then you've got Haney. You've got Worrell. Those are, you got Oppenheim. Then you have Lalancet on a recovery drive. Cardozo is going to be on a recovery drive. Arago is on a recovery drive. How is Tony Mitsales still in P10? What is going on? Is that car in the same race? He started P10. He's still in P10. Oh, no, he hit a wing. There's a credit card. Oh, what is going on? But how is Mitsales? He had drivers go overtake him. He's overtaking drivers, and he's just there. P10. I don't know how everybody that started behind Mitsales overtook him, and everybody that started in front of Mitsales is been behind him now. I don't know. I think that was Cook. That is Cook is out of the race. Broderson. Okay, we got Haney and Mills. Haney on Mills. Richard Haney on Josh Mills for P3. Round the outside. Will he do it round the outside? Mills defends. Haney's got to be very careful here, because he has the faster car and he has the better strategy. So Mills is going to try and bait Haney here into making a mistake fighting him. The best thing that Haney can do is, at worst case scenario, just sit behind Mills. He does have more pace in him. I love that Haney's attacking him. This is racing, ladies and gentlemen. And this is for a podium. Yes, we don't know how the strategies are going to play out yet, but this is still currently for a podium place. Senior's back out of the points again somehow. Cooper down in 12th. I'm just waiting for Cooper to just kind of show up all of a sudden at the top. 34.6 is not lighting up the timesheets. McLaren just not really having the pace here today. So Cooper is probably going to finish P5 because he's doing the old non-stop. Kovacic on about 6 different recovery drives. Fisher's on a couple of noses. The two Hasses, oh my word. Started 6th and 7th, had great pace, was up to 3rd in Fisher, and now we're down in 13th and 14th, and we're fighting for nothing. Van Leeuwen, P15. It's back to Haney on Mills. Mills is defending. He's making his, I would say it's pretty clear from Mills's body language that he's not going to let Haney past easily. It's a pretty clear indication when you drive along the inside of the straight when he's not even in range of an attack. It's a go away is basically what that is. So 3 retirements. Somehow only 3 retirements. John Cook, Otto Acosta, and Argenis Riera retiring. Riera was taken out in the first turn. We started right away with a collision between the top 3 drivers, Montero, Mills, and Riera. And I think it all just came down to the fact that the 3rd place got a better start than the 2nd place, and the 2nd place got a better start than the 1st place, and they all kind of ended up at the first turn at the same time. And I'm not sure why we're trying to win the race at turn 1 round here, because we've seen, not even halfway through the race, how many mistakes drivers have made. Haney again. My computer keeps telling me. It's also telling me now that Montero's put up the fastest lap of the race on the hard tires, as you do. So Montero's put the hard tires on. Does that mean he's going to go to the end? Likely. Maybe he'll come back out with soft tires at the end to put a fast lap in. I think he's going to be able to do whatever he wants here today. Mills is going to once again dot the inside there, just to kind of make it clear on Haney, I don't want you overtaking me, please. It's strange. Every time I used to do that, people used to still overtake me. It's like they don't understand what I'm trying to tell them. Montero leading Magosrevi, a 1-2 for Mercedes. We knew that Montero was going to be quick. Magosrevi, listen, still a fantastic drive in 2nd place. He would love to take this, and we've seen how many mistakes we've made. Magosrevi hasn't made any mistakes yet. The only mistake Magosrevi made was having his teammate Ezekiel Montero. Yeah. Magosrevi will be looking like an absolute rock star right now if he didn't. So I'm not sure if Mills is true P3. I don't think he is. I think Mills is... What is the gap between Worrell and Haney? It is quite large. Yes, 12 and a half seconds. So I think this is... Haney is in 3rd. Mills is in 4th currently. But Mills has track position. So we'll see how this is all going to play out. It may end up being an overtake. Haney's still stuck in the DRS zone of Mills. He's just using the Josh Mills's DRS. Maybe he's able to save fuel or tires or something at this point. Haney's driving. He's driving the perfect game right now. It's better than Walcott's drive last week. Where did Haney start? 14th? I want to say 14th or 15th. Look at how close he is to the back now. Here we go. Can Haney find anywhere? No, there's nowhere to pass because it's a bad circuit. Cardozo on Lalancette. Cardozo recovering. Lalancette recovering. Cardozo's going to try and go bold around the outside. Lalancette's going to defend it. Park it on the apex right here. So that way Cardozo cannot get a run. He's going to try. Jacobo Cardozo in the Alpine. Struggling a little bit with wash, but I think the one thing we need to talk about here is the vision. These drivers all drive from cockpit view. They're not seeing what we're seeing right now. They're driving in the cockpit, and you can see Cardozo even has the halo on, which makes it even worse. So visibility sometimes when you're right behind a car on a track like this where you're trying to go flat through blind corners, this is sometimes the reason why it's very difficult for them to overtake. Haney and Mills once again. We're going to keep an eye on this. Now, Haney's very close, but unfortunately Mills has the DRS letterbox open from the back marker. Oh! Can we get past? Here we go. Here's his chance. This is Haney's chance, but Mills is going to get the DRS, so it's not Haney's chance. This is why the back markers can play in effect, because had Mills not had the DRS there, I think Haney could have made a launch. It's unfortunate, but there'll be another day. Cardozo looks like he should be close enough to get by Jean-Pierre Lalancette this time. JPL's going to pit. JPL into the pits. So lap 26, if he puts the hard tires on now, I would think that is going to be end of the race. Let's see what strategy he's going to do. Are we going to go with the white tires? Are we going to stick with the medium tires? Look at the pit lane exit. We haven't talked about that. Absolutely mad pit lane exit. Feeding you into turn 1. It's just like they didn't think about where they were going to come out of the pits. Lalenset looks like he's still on mediums. We'll verify that in a few minutes. Cooper is on the hard still. But Lalenset's ahead of Cooper, and Lalenset has been in the wall a couple times and been in the pits. So Cooper just doesn't have the pace to do what he's trying to do today. Cardozo now attacking Oppenheim now that he's been freed. And Haney. Oh, Cardozo and Oppenheim were close. Haney and Mills. And I think Mills is in the pits. Josh Mills is in the pits. So we'll go back on board with Cardozo. And actually, Orego is right behind them as well. So here we go. Cardozo up the inside. He gets it done. And now Orego will be right behind the Oppenheimer. This is usually when that driver goes into the pits. Nobody pits this time around. On board with Juan Orego in the Scuderia Ferrari. Unfortunately, chasing a DRS train. Staying a very wide line. The grip on these cars, of course, at this time, not the best. If you're on used tires in the middle of the race, middle fuel, unknown. Drivers will often practice with light fuel. They will often practice with heavy fuel. Unless you're Brandon Gant, who doesn't believe in putting fuel in. Hi, Brandon. But everybody else will not really practice with medium fuel. The only driver that probably knows exactly how his car's going to handle a medium fuel is this guy, Stephen Broderson, because he does enough laps to know how his car is going to handle in all circumstances. Even if the stock market starts to crash, we'll know whether the credit card value stays up or not. Orego. Oh, we're going to go 3 wide. I thought we were going to go 3 wide for a second. Oh, he's going to go around the outside. He's looking left. He's looking right. Around the back marker. Great getting out of the way. That was, I think that was by, must have been Vanley Ward. Yes, it was. Great job by him to get out of the way. Orego can't quite get by Oppenheim, who's having a stormer of a race as well. Mills came out of the pits. Mills is now behind Worrell. Mills is now ahead of Worrell. Worrell's going to let him go. Back on board with the Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer! And I said it too early. He was having a great race, and now he's going to be very careful that he doesn't make a mistake and come onto the track at a bad time. Jeff's going to pit. And that's a big blow. Was there contact, or did he just lose the car? We will not know. We will fix the replay for next race, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen. We're still working on some kinks out here. Yeah, Oppenheim is in the pits. So we saw Mills get ahead of Worrell. Mills is putting up purple sectors right now. So we'll see if Mills is going to be able to put the fastest lap of the race up. Or whether that's going to be still Twizik Montero, who we haven't talked about much. And there's a reason. Montero is in Abu Dhabi. He decided to just forego Jeddah and go to Abu Dhabi. He's in a league of his own. Absolute league of his own. Oh! That was... He's still pushing. So, JPL is now behind Senior. This fight on the circuit. He's going to go right. He's going to go left. He's going to go right. And Rego's in the pits. Rego is back in the pits. This time you can rev. Or not. No, he didn't turn the damage off. Oh, he didn't turn the damage off. You have to turn the damage off. Oh, it's a slow stop for Arago. For the second time. On R Factor, you can turn the damage off or on, whether you want them to fix it or not. I believe that was probably not intentional for Arago to have a long stop like that. Senior in P9. Mitsalis is up to 7. Okay, we're on the move, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the move. Fastest lap of the race. Josh Mills did a 30.9. So he did take the fast lap of the race. He almost ran into the back of Sean Higgins. Higgins, he's on a recovery drive, but he hasn't really been able to recover too much. And Haney, his teammate, up in P3. Honestly, there'll be nobody happier for Haney, I mean, other than me, than Sean Higgins. But I think Haney would have liked Higgins to have slowed Mills down just a little bit more there than he could have, than he did. So we are 20 laps remaining. And we have a Mercedes 1-2 with Zico Montero leading Janos Megasrevi in Jeddah round 3. Richard Haney is still currently on the podium in P3 in the Kick Sauber. And I'll be kicking some cats later tonight if Haney gets P3. Mills trying to take it back off him on a recovery drive from P4. Will he be in trouble with the stewards? Will it stand? Will he have a penalty? Will it be a penalty for next race? Riera is already out of the race. There will definitely be a few investigations after this race for us to talk about. And while we're talking about investigations, let's kind of just discuss what happened between this man, Kovacic, and Higgins at Suzuka. They both blamed each other in the end for the collision that was perfectly avoidable. But we loved the attempt of the pass. We love an attempt of a pass. It didn't work out, no problem. Higgins should have just at that point said, I gave it a go, it didn't work, let it go. He did not let it go. He tried to overtake Kovacic, and Kovacic tried to kill him. Because of that reason, which you can't do. Attempted murder, not in the rules at SimRacingHub either. So in the end, both drivers got a little bit of a penalty. Some points on your license to go with it. And ended up losing, I believe, a place to Richard Haney in the standings. We live, we forget, we learn, but... Oh! Dude, there's a credit card in the middle of the track. Oh. I just can't keep my eyes off this. There's always somebody facing the wrong way. Oh. Mitsalis. He's just got overtaken by Lalancet. So Mitsalis is on a very fast course to go back to P10. He's going to do everything in his power to go back to P10. Oppenheim is trying to overthrow and overtake on Higgins. We will watch this battle. We watch every battle here that we can at SimRacingHub. It's Cooper and Kovacic and Mitsalis and Lalancet that's the closest fights, but we just saw Lalancet overtake Mitsalis, so let's stay with this. We'll save some airtime for Jeff Oppenheim, who was having a sensational drive. He's on a recovery drive now, so we've got a numerous amount of drivers on a recovery drive. And oh, Higgins going defensive. These guys are fighting tooth and nail for this position. Jeff Oppenheim are rarely outside. Beautifully done. Can Higgins come back at him? Higgins has got some straight line speed. Higgins is going to give it a go. Higgins does not lie down without a fight. Up the inside, Higgins gets the place back from Oppenheim. Great driving. That's how we do racing at SimRacingHub. Oppenheim's going to try and give it another go now on Higgins. These drivers going back and forth. So Haney has the soft tires on. We haven't talked about that either. So only him and Oppenheim are on the soft tires right now. Is that a mistake from Haney? Is he going to do an extra stop now? I think either way we're good for 4th place because there's a pretty big gap to Worrell in 5th, which is another great drive. Can Oppenheim line up a pass? There's really not too many places to overtake around this part of the track. He's going to think about it, get nice and close to the wall. I would love to still go on board with Montero and see how close he is to some of these walls. And luckily, I operate the cameras, so I can do that. We will do that in a moment after we see Oppenheim versus Higgins 3.0. Higgins' car has quite a lot of straight line speed. It won't be enough to hold Oppenheim back if he's this close with the DRS, which we have right now. So here comes Oppenheim, trying to go around the outside. Higgins goes defensive. Oppenheim, can he go deep? Or does he go deep? Oh, Higgins clipped the wall on the way out. Still trying to give it everything that he has. Higgins is going to go back by Oppenheim. This time Oppenheim defends to the inside. I love that move. Force Higgins around the outside, which Higgins does manage to hold on around the outside. What a great pass from Sean Higgins. These guys still side by side. There's a Ferrari now lurking. I'm assuming trying to lap these guys. This is not a fight that you want to come across. Now, will Oppenheim let the Ferrari go past so then he can have a go? Or will he try and pass before the lap car? Let's take a look at what this looks like on board from Bill Worrell in P5. This is not what you want to see in front of you. A deadly dogfight between Sean Higgins and the kicking cat Sauber and the credit card of Jeff Oppenheim. Montero, let's go on board with him. Just love to see how confident he is right now, because he's in absolute class of his own. How close is he getting to these walls? He's certainly committed. When you're in a rhythm, in a groove, you don't see the walls. Whoa! Yeah, he's still right there, ladies and gentlemen. He's still right there. Haney is in the pits. So, where is Haney going to come out compared to Mills? He's going to come out behind Mills, but that's because Mills has been putting up electric pace. So, Haney's now going to go to the end. Can Josh Mills go to the end? Haney cut the white line there, but I think he'll get away with it at this circuit because the white line is almost impossible to stay in. So Mills, can Josh Mills go to the end of this race? He's a good 14 seconds ahead of Richard Haney. So I don't think it's going to matter. I think Haney is going to need another piece of luck to go his way today to get a podium, as Montero gets the fastest lap of the race. And I like to think we saw some of that lap, because we did. So Montero has lapped all the way up till 9th place. Fisher's back into the top 10. He's popped himself back into a point position on a recovery drive. If Mitsalis finishes 10th tonight, I'm just gonna turn off the microphone and I'm not even gonna say goodbye, okay? Mitsalis cannot finish P10 today with everything that's going on. Currently P8, 4 points. That's a good drive. We have Oppenheim on Higgins. I think we've seen this fight before. We're going to see it again. This time it's Oppenheim attacking Higgins. Higgins has the high ground going down the straight. And I think Oppenheim's going to have a tough time overtaking this Sauber down the straight, because Higgins' Sauber looks to be very, very fast in a straight line. Even with the DRS, here comes Jeff Oppenheim, but he's going to be too far back because of that straight line speed from Higgins. So good setup there, we think, from the Sauber team. Cardozo's in the pits. Jacobo Cardozo into the pits. We haven't talked about him much, and it's for his own benefit, because every time we talk about drivers tonight, they end up in some type of wall. So he's going to come back out in P8. Yep, it looks like he's going to be pretty safe in P8. Yep, he's going to come out ahead of Ricardo Sr. And Cardozo can go to the end. So Cardozo should be in for maybe a top 7 finish here today, if he can keep all the wheels on his wagon. Worrell's in a fight for driver of the day too. Remember, Bill Worrell started 13th. 1 place ahead of Haney. He's 1 place behind Haney right now. So he's having a brilliant drive. We needed Ferrari. Well, we wanted Worrell to kind of show up. Ferrari has had a solid drive in every round so far. Orego in the first race had a really great drive. And I think Worrell got points too in the first round. Then we had Walcott's a mesmeric drive in Suzuka. And now Worrell with a P5 drive. It's great. Here comes Worrell into the pits. So he will... Where is Lalancette? He's coming onto this pit straight. So Lalancette's going to take that position back. But he might not be able to go to the end. So we know that Worrell's going to the end. We know that Haney's going to the end. We do not know... We know Cardozo's going to the end. I'm not sure if Lalancette is going to the end. We don't think he is. And I'm not sure if Mills is going to the end. I don't think he is. And Magus Revi pitted. So Mills is actually ahead of Magus Revi. So Mills would have to do something pretty crazy to hold this one off. If Mills beats Magus Revi, I think it's time for Janos to join me in the booth, because Mills is a long way back. Don't think it's going to happen. But how much pace does Magus Revi have now on these new tyres? He's got DRS. He's got the reds, the sticker reds as they call them in IndyCar. Brand new set of soft tyres. He's going to be right on the back of this McLaren here, who's going to give us a nice tow, drag, slipstream, DRS, the whole shebang. He's not defending, ladies and gentlemen. He's getting out of the way. And Magus Revi's going to go for his fast lap of the race. Let's go on board with this Mercedes. He wasn't even in the same postal code of the apex of turn 1, but he did hit the apex of turn 2. Many downshifts you can see through that section. So the car's still got a little bit of weight on. Magus Revi's certainly giving a little bit of gaps to some of the walls, but he gets very close to the one wall there on the outside. Let's take a look and see how his first sector time is. It's a 33.5. A 33.9 is the fastest lap of the race so far. So that was a very fast sector from Magus Revi. So we're going to stay on board with this lap here from Janos. This might be the fast lap of the race. That's beautifully done. Beautifully done. Count the palm trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 182. 182 palm trees. And there's 4 more there. So it's just 604 palm trees. Meanwhile, there's more palm trees. It doesn't help knowing which part of the circuit that you're on when you've got all these palm trees. You know, we could be a little bit more creative. Magus Revi's middle sector, 27.3. This is going to be a very fast lap from Janos Magus Revi. Surely Janos is going to put up the fastest lap of the race right here. There it is. A 1:30.7. So he ends up beating his lap time. Oh, he actually only just got it from Montero Mills. Montero won't like that. And we think Montero can come in and he's going to take that lap time back anyway. He's going to come in and put some softs on at the end of the race. Assuming that Josh Mills pits, of course. Because if Mills doesn't pit, well, there's a 35-second gap. So I think either way, Zika Montero likely winning this race. Go to SimRacingHub.com if you want to get involved in the league, as we've said. There are driver spots available. There might be a seat at McLaren available if OTTO can't start scoring some points. But I think he will. It's just going through one of those streaks. We've all been there. Yellow. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1. We're not too sure who it is or why. Oh, it's the credit card. Sitting on the inside of the circuit. That was Broderson. So maybe he made a mistake and then Stephen Broderson was getting out of the way. So he's still running. If you're still running in this race, and look at the quality of the drivers that are not running. John Cook, Otto Acosta, and Argenis Riera. There's a lot of experience there of drivers that are not in the race still. And this car still is. He's on the hards. We'll see whether he needs a little bit more chaos. You imagine rain. We need rain. Who builds this track in the desert? The two rookies are attacking each other. Kovacic and Orego for my favorite position, P11. Which, if you're in P11 with 10 laps to go around Saudi Arabia, you're likely in a points position because there's still a lot of things that can happen in 10 laps. Can Kovacic get in front of that Ferrari? Miserable day overall for Haas today. Obviously, the day started out great in qualifying, but you don't get any points for qualifying. You do get ranking points. We should specify that these drivers, to get a seat in the series next year, it doesn't go by driver standings. It doesn't go by team standings. It goes by ranking. And you do get ranking points for qualifying, as here goes Kovacic on the inside of Orego. Can he get the car stopped in time? Yes, he does. Looked like Juan didn't fight that too much. So Kovacic up to my favorite position. And Senior's going to be not too far away. Yeah, Senior is not far down the road. You can see them behind. So the battle for P10 still very much on. Lallenstedt with a great recovery drive so far. P5. Mills. What a huge recovery drive this is. Even P3 if he doesn't end up getting P2, because he's going to have Magus Revi behind him. And Mills is either going to try and stick it out for 10 more laps, which is optimistic to say the least. As we've got another yellow. Don't see any movement on positions right now. Higgins is into the pits. Kovacic on Ricciardo Senior. Looking for a pass. We haven't seen a pass around this part of the circuit. We've seen passes into the final turn. He will get the DRS here. So we would think that Kovacic will be able to do a pass on Senior. Up the inside he goes. Can Senior stay close enough to have another attack on him down the straight? Kovacic has to keep it nice and tidy. Boom. Kovacic up to P10. Senior up to my favorite position, P11. So both Aston Martins out of the points at this current stage of the race. And honestly, if Argenis Riera rejoined the race right now, I would still fancy him to get some point. No, it's too much, but still, he's Riera's done it before where he's come back into the race and managed to steal points. So we'll go back on board with Magus Revi on Mills. It'll be interesting how much Mills fights this. I don't think Mills knows how to not fight a position, especially P2, even if he's on a different strategy, and even if he has to go straight into the steward's room at the end of the race to explain what happened at turn 1, which we still don't fully know. Oh, Mills has got a lot of trouble through that section on grip. Magus Revi was feathering the throttle a lot, but still gaining chunks of time on Josh Mills. Turn 13. Use the camber. Early on the power for Magus Revi. He's then going to start to gain through this section. Beautiful downshifts through that section from Janos. I give him a hard time, but he is driving very, very nicely here tonight. And there's no qualms about finishing second to Montero. He actually told me that likely... Oh, and there goes Mills with a mistake. There goes Mills with a mistake. And here comes Magus Revi. This is going to be like taking candy from a goulet. Surely around the outside. How fast is Mills' car? Mills isn't going to fight it. Mills didn't even fight it. He sat right behind him. Janos went deep for an unknown reason. There's another yellow in Sector 1. Keep an eye on making sure it's not our leader. Oh, we got a Ricciardo Senior in the pits. Mills on Magus Revi, taking another look. Can Josh Mills get the position back? He's going to take a little look. This would be bold. This is bold. This is very bold. Wow, what great driving from both of them to not collide. Oh, I loved that. Trying to make a pass through a section of the circuit that didn't make any sense at all on a car that has tires that are really old. And the best part about that from Josh Mills and from Magus Revi was that they didn't collide. That was driving. He put it up the inside for no good reason, just sheer entertainment, and they didn't collide. Fisher is into the pits. Fisher's out of the race, actually. Fisher's permanently into the pits, and that's a big blow for him because, it was going so well. I don't even want to talk about how well it was going because it was early still in the race, but I mean, it was going Richard Haney well. It was going Richard Haney well. So Mills is going to try and stick behind Magosrevi. Now the real question is, can Mills go to the end of the race? I think either way, he's 20 seconds ahead of Haney, so makes sense for Josh Mills to pit right now, actually. Unless he can stick up with Magosrevi. I would probably pit, come in, get a new set of tires on. You still are going to hold that position, and then you're not going to have to worry about trying to get these tires to the end or sliding into a wall with used tires, which is very, very easy to do. Look at the tires differences in the top 10. We got a hard, a soft, we got a white, a red, a yellow, yellow, red, red, white, yellow, white. So nobody really knowing what the strategy is to do around here, and this is proves to be great racing at SimRacingHub here this year. It's not predictable with the strategies. It's not predictable with the tires. I think this mod has done a very, very good job with that. And these cars are a handful to drive, which is very entertaining for me. It's probably not so entertaining for some of these other drivers out there, but entertaining for me. So right now we see Fisher moving down the auto because he has DNF'd outside of the race. Cooper still not in the points in that McLaren. No points for McLaren would be a disaster here today. In a race where so much unknowns, to get 0 from both cars in a team that is usually so consistent, that would be a disaster. Now Mills is keeping up with Magosrevi. Mills is keeping up with Janos. So has Janos' pace dropped off? It obviously has from his fast lap time pace. 31.5 last lap for Janos, 31.4 for Mills. So Mills still has some really good pace in this car with 5 laps, 6 laps to go. I think this is just sheer driving from Josh Mills at this point. This car shouldn't be able to keep up with Janos' car. There's no way. And he's just fighting to stay in with the DRS zone, and he's hoping that Magosrevi's tires, the soft tires, go off, and he's got the yellow tires. So the longer he can stay in, the better. The problem is that's not an easy feat to do, and the end of the race is going to hit before, unfortunately, I think Magosrevi's tires are going to go off. We've seen him very hard on the tires. Marshmallow Magosrevi, they call him, because we can turn any tire into a set of marshmallows. Blue flag gets out the way. Has Mills managed to stay in the DRS zone? You can see how late he broke there, trying to probably get himself into the dissection zone. Can Mills? Yes, he's going to get another lap of DRS. So this fight's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. Not over one bit. Lalenset jumped up to P5. Here we go. Josh Mills is quite close. He's very close on Magosrevi. He used all of his boost. He's going to go around the outside. Janos is going to fight it. And Mills overtakes Magosrevi back. How did he do that? Here comes Janos. Janos is probably like, what is going on with that car? Mills all of a sudden, on old tires that we didn't know would get to the end of the race, has pulled a miracle here. Oh, and Janos is struggling to keep up with him. Now Janos has to stay in the DRS zone. He cannot make a single mistake here. He has to stay in the DRS zone to keep this fight alive. Surely Mills' tires are going to go off before Janos is due. I know Janos is on the reds. Mills is on the yellows, but yes, Janos is going to be in DRS range. And I think he's going to be in enough range to kind of fight this one back. We've got Kovacic fighting Mitsalis. This is for P9, or P8, sorry. So he's going to get that pass done. Let's go back on board with János Mágás-Révy for P2 of the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix on Josh Mills. Here we go. Round 3. Mills this time is going to defend like the moon, because he knows now that he has the pace to keep up with Mágás-Révy. And look at how fast Mills' car is on the straight. Mills must be saving all of his boost during that time. János needs to do something different, because this is not going to end well for him. If he manages to not get a 1-2 for Mercedes, after how well this race was going, that's a very tough blow. János has had a hard day. He needs to finish second. Needs to. János, come on. Drive that Mercedes onto the back of the Oracle Red Bull. This is great racing with 3-4 laps to go, and I have to say I was wrong. I was deadly wrong that Mills should have pitted. No way he should have pitted. He's got the place back. I did not see that coming. I didn't think he had the pace to keep up at this stage of the race on a recovery drive. Now here comes János. Oh, and that's deep. Oh, and that cost him. Just that hesitation of a second on the power. And that's going to now mean that he's too far back for Mills to go and make a move into the last corner, which means Mills can save all of his boost for the start-finish straight for turn 1. He goes a little bit deep. You can see he's struggling. Beautifully on the power from Josh Mills, though. How is he getting such traction from that car? And he's gone like a bullet on the straight. No chance whatsoever for János. Josh Mills driving absolutely fantastically at the end of this race. If he steals second place in Red Bull, I mean, how can you not give him driver of the day? If he steals that, I can tell you how you can't give him driver of the day. Because right now, this guy has got it signed, sealed, locked and delivered. Because he went from 14th to 4th. But still, János is going to have to try something different. We might see some type of an overtake. I think János' best bet is to force Mills to use his boost into the final turn, defending, and he needs to be close enough then in order to do that, or make a pass into the final turn. So he needs to stay nice and close through this section. János still has the fastest lap of the race. Montero's not going to pit to get the fast lap of the race, I don't think, because Mills didn't pit. Here we go. That's better from János. We're going to have a whole boat full of Oracle Red Bull soon. We need to make a launch up the inside into the final corner, or at least round the outside. Mills did use the boost. Mills has gone deep, and here comes János Mágás-Révy on Josh Mills. It's going to be really, really close. Can János go to the inside? No, Mills is going to defend the inside. János to the outside. Did he do the pass around the outside? He did. What an overtake. Owen Mills is going to try and fight back. He's tried already a pass into this section. It didn't work. János Mágás-Révy with a pass around the outside. What an overtake to save the 1-2 for Mercedes. And now Mills might be done. Mills might now be done. He might not have any more tires left. He almost pulled the miracle. He will still come out of here with a P3 finish, which is, if it stands with the stewards, is a great, great result. He will be the lead driver again in the Red Bull team. No more Lalancet. And I think János has broke the DRS, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's it. Zeke Montero puts in the fastest lap of the race, even though he didn't pit. How did he do that? Oh, Montero didn't even need to pit to put in the fastest lap of the race. He's just been in a class of his own. Mills does have the DRS. You'll be very happy to know. And he also has a ton of boost, it looks like, because Mágás-Révy is a sitting duck going into that corner. Now János will employ all of his boost, surely. But here comes Josh Mills to take that place back from Magashrevi. Magashrevi doesn't defend for some reason. Mills up the inside. Oh, and he squeezes Janos out, and Mills takes the position back. This is fantastic racing at the end of the Saudi Grand Prix. For second place, these two drivers, neck and neck, but no contact. And they are giving it their all without throwing away a podium. This is what racing is all about. Magashrevi trying to get the 1-2 for Mercedes. Mills trying to steal a second place. And you can see the advantage that the second driver has with the DRS and the slipstream around this circuit. Look at Janos' commitment through there. He's given it everything he's got to try and get that position back from Josh Mills. There's still going to be 2 laps left. There's one more lap after these guys come to the pits. Janos goes a bit wide, but he's going to be on the power early enough. He's going to have another go. This is going to be the last lap of the race overtake if he's going to pull it off. Mills using his boost. Who's going to outsmart the other? Janos with the DRS wide open. Closes right up the back. He can almost touch him. Last lap of the race. Last chance. Saloon for Janos Magashrevi on Josh Mills. Is he going to launch one up the inside? Will he take a look around the outside? He's going to go for it. Mills goes defensive. Does he go deep? No, he gets the car stopped beautifully. Mills did not crack under that pressure. And Janos is going to have to pull a miracle, and he's going really, really deep there, and that's going to be probably it now. Mills is going to steal second place. Josh Mills, oh, his car's dancing all over the place. Maybe he won't have enough to hang on. Maybe he won't. Montero is going to come through to win this race, but we need to be keeping an eye on this fight for P2. Janos still trying to find a pass. He will be able to make a pass maybe into the final turn if he saves enough of his boost. But has he used some of the boost to stay up with him during this lap? Montero's going to come through to win. We can't watch it. We need to be watching this fight. Montero wins the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix Round 3. His teammate, Janos Magashrevi, trying to make it a Mercedes 1-2 going into the final corner. He will go for a pass. He almost touched. Has he gone deep? Has he gone deep? He's gone deep. Here comes Mills. Mills steals it back. Still side by side, and Mills is going to hold on. He's going to hold on to second place. Josh Mills. What a great finish. Ladies and gentlemen, that is racing. That is SimRacingHub. Richard Haney gonna come through to finish P4. 10 positions or more gained. What a drive. Driver of the day. Mills can't get it even though he somehow stole second place. Montero can't get it even though he was in a class of his own, because Richard Haney, ladies and gentlemen, is going to take P4 in the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix for SimRacingHub. Lalenset's going to come through with a great recovery drive in P5. 1 position off his other 2 positions, and he's going to move up in the championship with all of the other fiddles that have been going on with Riera. Bill Worrell. Oh, we got a battle. Oh, we got a battle. We got a battle into last corner, ladies and gentlemen. Cardozo on Kovacic. Did Cardozo just pass Kovacic on the last corner? Here comes Kovacic. Cardozo with the pass on the last corner. Steals P7. Kovacic P8. Mitsalis doesn't finish in P10. Mitsalis finishes in P9. 1 place gained. Juan Orrego is going to come through in P10. He's already finished. He's a lap down. Cooper, no points for McLaren. What an absolute disastrous day for them. No points for Aston Martin. What a disastrous day for them. But Red Bull stops Mercedes from having the dominant 1-2 that they didn't. How is Janos Magosrevi going to go to sleep tonight? It was right there. Mills had multiple incidents and still managed to catch and pass Janos. Mills is a fast guy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he's a fast guy that is running out of fuel. And he has ran out of fuel. Oh, dear. Josh Mills. He was in trouble with the stewards. Now he's going to be even more in trouble with the stewards, because I would argue that Josh Mills gained an advantage by running out of fuel here. Because by using the boost, he managed to keep second place over Janos. This will be very interesting to see whether the stewards do something with this. Mills isn't going to make it back to the pits. It's not going to happen unless JPL comes and pushes him, which I would love to see. We will see whether this is going to be the case. But surely Josh Mills can't make it back to the pits without any fuel. It's like Formula E. There's no sound on the vehicle. He's only at turn 13. There's no way he's going to make it. If this is turn 13, there's no way he's going to make it round the other half of the lap, ladies and gentlemen. Where is his teammate, Lalan Set, to help him out? He's in the garage. He ain't helping. I think Mills is going to be in trouble. So that's going to be the end of the race. Round 3. What a fantastic race that was. Zika Montero. We haven't talked about him very much. Class of his own. Different league. Not just today. To start the season, he's been in a different league. He's going to probably retake the lead of the championship now due to Argenis Riera being taken out in turn 1. So Montero will be back on top. Mills did the taking out. He's still let it go. There we go. I was going to say, let it go. You're not going to make it back. You're going to have to answer the stewards on why you didn't finish the race with enough fuel. But it's a sensational drive, a sensational overtake, a sensational defend. A recovery drive for the ages for Josh Mills. Magosrevi, the most underwhelming third place that you could possibly have, but still a podium and still a third place in SimRacingHub. Richard Haney, driver of the day. P4 for the Kick Sauber team. What a fantastic result from him. Lalan Set, what a recovery drive from him. Continues to collect points in the championship. He's making mistakes, but he's recovering from his mistakes. Bill Worrell, what a great drive. P6. More points for Ferrari. Still picking up points, even with the up and down of not having drivers. And they have one driver who almost wins but can't make a race. And we need Walcott back in that car. But Worrell does a good job at getting some points today. Cardozo stole some points for Alpine. P7. Kovacic stole some points in P8. Tony Metzalis gains the point and allows me to say goodnight properly in P9. And Juan Orrego with another point for Ferrari. The non-points finishers were Glenn Cooper, Ricardo Senior, Sean Higgins, Jeff Oppenheim, Cliff Van Leeuwen, Stephen Broderson, and Fisher Cook, Otto Acosta, and Argenis Riera. All DNFs. That'll be it from me, ladies and gentlemen, for the Saudi Grand Prix. And we will join you in 2 weeks' time on a real circuit. But I don't think the circuit matters this year. It's SimRacingHub on a Thursday night under the lights. We're going to go racing again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for joining me, and please take care and